We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all noble ragas and dakinis and the Dhamma guardians, possessors of the eye and of wisdom. Next page. Enter in the heart of enlightenment. I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and the likewise example of Bodhisattvas. As spiritual Buddhas in this enlightened mind and the progress of Bodhisattvas path are true for the benefit of all sentient beings, giving birth to Bodhicitta, and apply myself to accomplish the stage of the path. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent. I take refuge under enlightenment series, but in the rate of generosity and other good deeds. May I take Buddha for the sake of all sentient beings. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, may they be liberated from suffering in the cause of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. I bow down respectively with my body, speech, and faithful mind to all Tathagatas in the 10 generations. Those who have already reached Tathagata state, those who are reaching it at the present, and those Tathagata state to come. Through the power of Samantabhara's prayers, may all Buddhas manifest vividly in my mind. Apostate to them, multiply in my body as many times as the atoms of the earth. In each atom I visualize many Buddhas as they are atoms surrounded by countless Bodhisattvas. Thus all space is filled with these Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Praise of Buddhas through manifesting, chanting, expressing the great ocean of the excellent qualities. To all Buddhas I make offerings of arrows, pure flowers, flower garlands of music, one-ten oils, manifesting the fragrant incense. I make offering to the offering garment and the profound popero for the highest moment in orange the most beautiful bed. I visualize the highest and most extensive offerings and offer them with the great faith to Buddhas. Apostate to the Buddhas and make offering to them following the deeds of great Bodhisattva Samantabhara. I confess to you, Buddhas, whatever negative actions I have committed due to the power of anger, desire, and ignorance. I rejoice in the memory of all Buddhas and the 10 directions of great Bodhisattva and the Pakshika Buddhas. Those who have attained Arasha, those who have entirely the path of Arasha and all other beings. I recall the great protectors and the Buddhas to Tandas, Vero Dhammas, the light dispelling the darkness of beings in the 10 directions, leading them gradually to the enlightened state. I make recourse to those Buddhas intend to pass into Nirvana, to living long past many years as they are also there in order to benefit beings. Whatever merit I have gathered through postations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of enlightenment of all sentient beings of all desire, dedicate. I call refuge among your firm provides 3,000 gold. You are the victor, Vajradhara with wardrobe. I go at the feet of Patanjali Sangha. Continue that thing with no one but your compassion and one grant your blessings. Dispel darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I can realize the better nature of mind. Tibetan supplication to Jikisumbu. Chadrenje Dumen Zondenji Chagwe Dungsong Yong Lai Jia Zunme Jarwai Dorje Jang Panje Den Gong Pe Shalai De De Ta De Zang Je Jule Mi Sing Je Lo Je Tu Je Jin Nian Ge Men Bai Sar Ne Jiang Sen Zhi Zha Re De Do Ba Re Sing Je Long Ben Zer Sat Tu San Ma Ya Ma Ni Pa La Ya Ben Zer Sat Tu Tin Ho Pai Ti Chan Zhen Zhang Me Pa Su De Ka Yo Me Pa Wai Su Pe Ka Yo Me Pa Wai Ame Rakto Me Pa Wai Sarvai Siddhen Me Jayan Sarvai Karmai Siddhai Me Siddhai Shiyang Kyriyo Aha O Bangave Sarva Tathagata benzara mangene, benzara pano, somoyo soto, om benzara sato, om benzara sato, om benzara sato, om benzara sato. Om benzara sato, om benzara sato, om benzara sato, om benzara sato. So now I'm going to share the Phowa transmission teaching. The teaching Phowa transmission is page 19. Page 19 called the Phowa Jatsoma teaching. Phowa transmission teaching.
Khenpo?
Teaching Phowa transmission is page 19. So we have a separate zone or something translated on here. Someone calling my name is in the zone. Who's?
It's okay. We had two audios going. Sorry, Khenpo. It's okay now.
Okay. The page 19, I'm going to share the Phowa teaching in this Saturday, Sunday, 2 days. We're going to practice together too. Because this month is called Sagadava and a very important month. So that's why we practice Phowa and Amitabha. It's really benefit for us for when we die. So this practice is a focus for for death and for liberation, death liberating. Then Phowa actually many different levels. So we call Dharmakaya Phowa, Sambhonakaya Phowa, and the Nirmanakaya Phowas. The Dharmakaya Phowa is you practice Mahamudra and Dzogchen. So that's called the Dharmakaya Phowa. You realize your own natural mind. Sambhonakaya Phowa is you practice a Yedam deity and connect with the Yedam deity, and when we die, then in the Bardo. So all appearances appear to Yedam deity, and we can liberate in the Bardo ourselves. It's called Sambhonakaya Phowa. So that too is more for practitioners, very high level practitioners. Because someone who practice Mahamudra, Dzogchen, they realize their own natural mind and the Dharmakaya Phowa. Then someone who practice always Yedam deity, connect with the Yedam deity. So the its perception is also our impure perceptions transform to the pure and connect with the strongly practice Yedam deity, and the person can have ability to liberate in the Bardo or Sambhonakaya. The Nirmanakaya Phowa is in this practice it can be Nirmanakaya Phowa. So the Nirmanakaya Phowa has some teachings talk about kind of two different levels. So in this case, it's called Tamaram Dishisumdija Phowa means and the ordinary Phowa. Why we call ordinary Phowa? Because someone who don't have Dharmakaya, Sambhonakaya, Nirmanakaya practice levels. So for ordinary people can use this practice. That's why I call ordinary Phowa. Then ordinary Phowa is followed by three different aspect levels. Three aspect level is Buddha Amitabha Pure Length destination, and central channel is a part. Our consciousness is a passenger. So the point is when we die, we're not going to take birth in samsara, 6 realms. So it's directly consciousness transforming to Buddha Amitabha Pure. Then in this case, many people have questions about Buddha Amitabha Pure Line. So Buddha Amitabha Pure Line is enlightened state or just, in the within samsara. So people have lots about this, those and questions. We cannot say Buddha Amitabha space place Pure Line is enlightened place, but long as you are, our take birth in the Buddha Amitabha Pure Line, is called safety place. You don't have to come back to samsara. In the Buddha Amitabha Pure Line, you can practice in there all the Dharma conditions. So now in this place, we have all samsaric conditions, worldly activity. And when you arrive, achieve, or reborn to Buddha Amitabha Pure Line, everything is a Dharma condition, spiritual condition. So then, due to that, you can liberate and enlightenment in the Buddha Amitabha Pure Line. So think about in this world, 99%, more than 99% is going to take birth in samsara because due to conditions. And the Buddha Amitabha Pure Line, there are almost 100% conditions to liberate. So that's why we don't have our practice level to achieve enlightenment in this life, but if you take birth to Buddha Amitabha Pure Line, so it's same is almost, enlightenment. Because long as we achieve the Buddha Amitabha Pure Line, then we don't have to come back to samsara. So then they talk about Buddha Amitabha Pure Line, many different qualities. So also you read the long Sukhavati prayer, Buddha Amitabha prayer, long one, and they talk about many, Buddha Amitabha Pure Line qualities. Immediately you can go to other Pure Line, receive teachings, other Buddhas, you can return back to in your Buddha Amitabha Pure Line. Whatever you wanting, everything's naturally rising. You don't have to, put effort to creating, every day have to work hard to, put effort for get things. But long as you are achieved in Buddha Amitabha Pure Line, everything is naturally arising, whatever we need. But there no much desire. So good thing is, and then whatever need, everything is naturally arising. So due to all the good conditions, aspiration is accomplishment. So then this Phowa, I'm going to share the transmission. The transmission means it's followed by teaching. So long as if I'm going to tell you, and right now you are in the zone, so you have to stay like whole thing. If you don't have time, you can leave because transmission Phowa is not allowed to break part of the sections. So you can, you don't have time to do everything, you can leave. If you have time to do everything, please stay. And it takes 2 hours. So teaching and practice together, okay? The usually Phowa, is not publicly sharing. So you can see in this followed by in this lineage. And also for the respect for Dharma and for good for the connect with the spiritual is always you good to receive beginning to end. So now Phowa and Jasoma teaching stand in blood of grass. So the main point is that this Phowa standing blood of grass means you practice a Phowa. You use the kush grass is put into your crown, so standing means like stay and standing up because we open up our own crown. So that's why its name is standing blood of grass. Tibetan is called Phowa and Jatsoma means Jatso means like kush grass go into just same is in English translator go into standing your crown. through which one can attain enlightenment without meditation. So Phowa is a special method. This even without meditation, we can enlightenment. So the point is, without meditation means attain without mindful shamatha, that kind of practice, but still you can enlightenment. This meditation is calling just meditation is really general. I think this word we can think about a specific meditation like shamatha, kind of that meditation. Without that, we can enlightenment. Phowa itself is also meditation actually. So we have to visualize everything. It is a meditation teaching. It is very difficult to attain precious human body. So when you practice Phowa, we always have to cultivate precious human body. And having attained it, one must utilize it to reach the Buddhahood through the proper hearing, contemplation, and meditation of precious teachings. So, if we are going to, practice Dharma, we need conditions, everything. So, if we don't have conditions, then not possible to enlightenment. So that's why. What is our condition? Condition is precious human body. Animal cannot liberate, themselves because they don't have conditions. And if we're sharing Phowa to them, they don't understand what we're talking about. We can only create karmic conditions, karmic influence. So then we also somehow have practice levels so they can have benefit, but the point is that they cannot liberate themselves. As long as we have a precious human body, and then we have an opportunity to liberate ourselves because we can, use effort, practice, and we can liberate. So that's why it's Buddhahood through proper hearing means like, here is also talk about the precious human body is not only also every human beings. You can need to hear properly hearing. Someone has a hearing problem, especially mental handicap, and also some is physical handicap, also obstacle to practice the Dharma. So that's why we have to think about how we are lucky because mentally handicapped, physical handicap, free from that. The handicap means like you don't have ability to hear the teaching and practice the Dharma. Contemplation and meditation of precious teachings. So we have to contemplate, meditate the precious teaching practice. If you don't have precious human body, then we don't have ability or capacity, conditions. So we are free from that state. We have to recognize, we are lucky, and we have to think about ourselves, appreciate ourselves, recognize. We have to bring ourselves like things to ourselves. It's very important. It's get more effort and bring your joy and happy. And also enthusiasm arising for practice of Dharma. It's very hard to get all these good conditions. The negative conditions very strong, and also for practice of Dharma conditions very, very hard to get. So that's why we have all these conditions we have to recognize and ourselves and make happy and joy. Even if one has attained human birth, it can suddenly end without warning. So then we also have to contemplate, meditate, impermanent. Otherwise, we think, I have precious human body, and get more lazy and get pride, and then no mindful, and if we don't practice, so precious human body is also impermanent, very hard to get, but very easily lost. So that's the reason, and you have to think about this. We have to contemplate impermanent, sudden and without warning. We don't know when we're going to end our life. No one has certainty. Everything's uncertainty. So this is like, think about when we was born, starting that day, and then every moment close for death, not going to get long life every day. So we think actually eat good food, exercise, maintaining everything, become our perception, thoughts is like going to get more better and better life, everything going to create better, but actually it's, our body is a compound of phenomena. It's impermanent. So long as we have to take birth, then starting that day and close to the death. So we don't know when we die. Death is not due to age, right? Death is not due to also sickness. Sometimes like you know anyone next to die. So that's why we have to think, contemplate impermanent. Because of the overwhelming power of laziness in the postponement of our practice, one's life ends without one even realize it. We don't recognize our life's end. So, of course, someone died before like 50 years before, like, young age. It's not recognizing, but even we are 50s, 60s, we don't recognize how big the life is so fast. Days go very fast, weeks go very fast, months go very fast, years go very fast, everything is changing, moving, never stay. You cannot hold one moment. It's changing everything. So that's why we don't even realize it. Because life is so short, we think our life is long, but it's actually, of course, due to individual, dependent. But actually, life is short, only can be 100 years. 100 years is like very fast, not that long. So life is so short, and the global mara of death is so quick. The death mara is coming so quickly. No warnings, you don't knowing, we don't know when we die. So that kind we have to contemplate. That give you more effort for practice Dharma. This one no scare you. Something like that. Oh. Sorry about this phone calling. So practice this impermanent meditation and really helps us get more effort for practice, Then this helps remove our laziness. So then when death comes, we have no escape. We have to accept it and go on to the next life. So we have to accept, go to next life. Someone who accepting, who practices Dharma, then that is not that big problem. We can learn from all these practitioner masters. Death is liberating. Death is not suffering. Death is transforming. So at this time, neither you accumulated wealth, nor your dear ones, nor your cherished body, nothing can help except the precious teachings. So when you're ready to die, then nothing going to benefit us, only precious teaching and the Dharma practice. So practice Phowa, that only benefit us. So that is true, but we don't recognize because due to ignorance. So many people die every year, but due to fixation, grasping, ignorance, beings, no recognizing, no one prepare for death. Everyone prepare for living, someone thinking about, okay, I'm going to stay like 2-3 years, but 2-3 years, very short, but they're only thinking about 2-3 years, very important. They don't think about the future life. So that's we see clearly, how the human beings ignorant. Know your cherished body, nothing can help except these precious teachings. So whatever we created in this life as material things, nothing going to benefit us. When we die, so we cannot take with us this precious body, then no questions other can take with us. Because when we born, we have body come together, but when we die, body cannot come together. So then only benefit is precious teachings. In this precious teaching, Lord of Shakyamuni Buddha taught the Dharma to suit for different levels of understanding and the different positions of all beings through Shavakayana, hearers, Pakikayana, solitary realizers, and Mahayana Bodhisattva practice. So Buddha Shakyamuni shares so many different kind of teachings, diversity teachings, because due to individual capacity, different dispositions of all beings. The reason is his compassion. He never give up one single being. So he never say you don't have a capacity, you don't have ability. He share giving every single being's levels, capacity due to dispositions, share the teaching. That's why we have so many teachings. These all teachings are not contradicting, because due to individual levels. So if you don't know in this way, individual level dispositions, then Hinayana teachings contradicting to the Mahayana teaching, Mahayana teachings contradicting to the Vajrayana. These three is like contradicting each other. Because what Hinayana say you cannot do, Vajrayana say yes you do, And Mahayana say something cannot do, Vajrayana say yes you can do. Hinayana say something cannot do, Mahayana say you can do. So it's always followed by individual levels. Then these teachings, Buddha taught so many, and we also have understanding due to the individual levels. So I also share many times, like sometimes the teachers give you specific suggestions, like method, something you cannot share. Others, I heard this teacher told me, someone told me these things, like that is only specific for your suggestion. So we have our own problems, specific our own problems. Someone have asked our own problem. So you sometimes, like Dharma practitioners ask others to do exactly the same thing. So then he told me this, you have to do this, but sometimes misunderstanding. Okay, so individual has many different kind, different kind of issues. So we have to bring different kind of solutions. So then you wanted to help someone others, you need wisdom, with compassion. So sharing for others, this benefit or not, you have to know. That's the most important. Then this teaching, so many different levels. The Mahayana consists of the Hutayana cause and the Palayana. Through the Hituyana or Sutrayana consists of all the practice without the tantric initiations. In the Palayana or Vajrayana, there are many means, path to attain enlightenment through the arising and the completion process. But one must diligently practice over period of time before one can realize one's Buddhahood. So then we have a Mahayana teaching, Vajrayana teachings. Actually, Mahayana is Vajrayana. Mahayana has two different lineages. So that's why here says, Hituyana is a cause, is Sutra tradition, and the Palayana is fruit, is the is Vajrayana traditions. So the difference is Sutra tradition, they don't talk about empowerment, initiations, this kind of special method that they don't talk, but they use like, practice always for more important is compassion. Vajrayana more important is for using different kind of method. In the Palayana or Vajrayana, there are many means, paths to attain enlightenment through arising completion process. So Vajrayana use different kind of method. So that's why this Phowa teaching is one of method to enlightenment. But one must diligently practice over a period of time before one can realize one's Buddhahood. So if you practice Vajrayana teaching, one lifetime you can become Buddhahood. In the Vajrayana, the Phowa practice is the most direct and quickly path for one to achieve enlightenment. So Vajrayana, especially this Phowa, is direct practice, means like directly transform our consciousness to Buddha Amitabha Pure Light. So that's the reason. So this Phowa, if you practice in this life, quick path want to achieve enlightenment, because we achieve to in the Buddha Amitabha Pure Light, then I already told you all the conditions, the spiritual conditions. Very easy to achieve enlightenment. If we take birth again in within samsara, the next life you don't know you get good conditions. So this all the worldly samsara conditions so strong. Even you have a really good level practice, if your consciousness not transform to Buddha Amitabha Pure Light, you get very high level in the samsara, but very hard to enlightenment, because all the conditions is samsara conditions. For one to achieve enlightenment, it is said that even the heaviest of a sinner has a chance for enlightenment through the practice of Phowa. So people who practice Phowa have ability to liberate for even you have created non-virtuous deeds. So this part also, they have lots of debate, and people has a lot of draw to like thinking about many. Some people think if we don't purify our negative karma, then can achieve enlightenment. So negative karma is not become not obstacle. We can think about like that kind of, right? So have to purify negative karma first, then we're going to achieve enlightenment. So that's a general part, but the Phowa using is a very special method. You get good conditions. I mean, you reach in the Buddha Amitabha Pure Light, you can purify negative karma, or is in the Buddha Amitabha Pure Light. You don't stuck samsara again. So if we stuck in samsara, then this 6 rounds. So then negative karma is rapiding. So due to that, we are suffering in the 6 rounds. Then harder to practice the dharma, connect with the dharma, because they create more negative karma. So negative karma rapiding, so that take you to more negative karma. So that's why, and generally, if you create negative karma, not possible enlightenment. But in this case, Phowa, you reborn in the Buddha Amitabha Pure Light, you can purify all negative karma there. You have all the good conditions, all the conditions are spiritual. You can purify there before enlightenment. Yes, we have to purify negative karma before enlightenment. If you take birth in samsara, within samsara, very hard to purify negative karma. Negative karma take you again negative karma. So more digging to negative karma. Then drug or digging, like you go more drawn that path. So you take birth in the Buddha Amitabha Pure Light, even you have negative karma, you purify their negative karma. So practice of Phowa, you really, the accomplishment, or you have really good level practice Phowa, you can achieve Buddha Amitabha Pure even you have negative karma. So you have debt, you can become rich too. You can borrow so much money somewhere, another hand you will become rich. So, not everything that you lost. So this one is using special, instruction method. That's why it's not against for the cause and the effect. They are teaching. So here is the heaviest of sinner has a chance for enlightenment through practice of Phowa. Actually, who created this negative karma is falling to the lower realms, but who has practiced Phowa can achieve Buddha Amitabha Pure. They are teachings for one to become enlightened, but I have teaching Phowa that offers enlightenment without meditation, said Marpa, the great translator and the father of Kagyu lineage. So Marpa Lotsa, everyone knows, he went to India, meet Naropa. So and then also other many great masters. The Naropa is one of most important, his guru. Actually, he has many teachers and many gurus in India at that time. So he come back to in Tibet. He bring the Phowa teaching to in Tibet. So he said, this other before went to Marpa Losava, they bring many different teachings. He said, this only I have special, because other all practices through the meditation enlightenment. He said, I have this teaching without meditation. So without meditation is, just I told you, shamatha, specific, mindful, like we talk about that kind of practice. Without that, still you can achieve enlightenment. That's you have to understand. Kagyu lineage. The Phowa Jasoma, the standing grass blood lineage, is one of the precious Phowa practice. There are many Phowa teachings in Tibet. Many teachings. Each lineage has Phowa. Especially the Kagyu tradition, Nima tradition has more Phowa teachings, practice. So the different, lineage, like even one lineage has a different kind of, Phowas due to, inside there has different lineages too. So one lineage means like big branch, but inside there can be many branches. So that's why one lineage can have many Phowa teachings. In Tibet has many different these Phowa teachings, but this Digong Phowa is most popular Phowa, become publicly and more popular. When Digong Phowa Chemo usually come to, and 12 years of one called monkey year teaching, that time just people gathering like 100,000 just going to receive the Phowa teachings. So that's become popular, but it's very hard to understanding so many people gathering together, because they think just get blessings, they're enough, but they really don't understanding Phowa's like essence, like kind of how to apply themselves, their life. So anyway, just tradition people go to receive, like everyone think you get there something, get blessings. That's why so many people gathering usually. The good is you receive instruction and we have to practice like within 1 week for solitarily. So that's usually required. So now here we often practice Phowa because we have many hours already shared many times. And we just, used to again and again, reminding ourselves again and again. So we receive one time and then we not forget. We don't know when we die, so that's why we have to apply every month once, every week, like every time, whichever we can. Apply again and again is a very good way to maintaining our Phowa practice. Lineage is one of the precious Phowa practice. In the 8th century, so then now is going to talk about the Phowa lineage. Then the top there, first we starting talk about precious human body, talk about impermanent teachings. The Phowa practice is most important is want to liberate, really recognize samsara is a suffering. So same as like prisoners free from prison, that kind of we need a feeling. Recognize samsara as a suffering and really wanted to liberate, not attached to anything. So that's why we cultivate a precious human body and meditate impermanent. Phowa practice, most obstacle is attachment. Not obstacle is our negative karma, right? Even you have negative karma, still you can achieve to the Buddha Amitabha purely, but you have something attachment, you cannot liberate, transform to your consciousness in the Buddha Amitabha purely. In the Sukhavate long prayer, we have, in the prayer says Tibetan Sagu Nyani Taraji, not just for the Nankala. Means like Sagu is like vulture is put in the cage, they are extremely suffering, they wanted to free from that, then you release it. The vulture never looking back again, they just directly flew in the sky, never turning back the head. So if turning back the head, the same is like your attachment, you fall down again. So that kind, we not attached to anything, like, really wanted to free from samsara, directly wanted to go to Buddha Amitabha pure, and that kind, we have to create. And feeling is called renunciation. Practice impermanence helps us reduce attachment and really wanted to liberate it. That fear is very strong, we need. So then the feeling comes, then this Phowa work very well, but otherwise it doesn't work very well, okay? Each practice has obstacles, so this Phowa practice obstacles attachment. So long as you attach to physical object, something in your home, your car, or anything, your family, relatives, anything, so your mind cannot liberate. That you have to understand. So now, this Phowa in the 8th century, the Dharma king of Tibet, Chija Truzong Debzin. So Truzong Debzin, he invited Pema Sambhava, the 8th century. This teaching is during the Marpa Losa. See, Marpa Losa, he has a Phowa, but that time, this Phowa is still in the hidden text. That's why Marpa Losa, he bring Phowa from India. This Phowa is, Marpa Losa bring Phowa, translation from, his guru receiving like 6 Yoga Namapa has a Phowa. So he used that method. He told about he has a Phowa special. But this Phowa is different lineage. This Phowa is come from 8th century, but during this Marpa Losa time, it's hidden text, not already public. So that's you have to understand. So Dharma came to some that he invited the Guru Indian Thundering Master Guru Pema Sambhava to Tibet, and they built the Samye monastery. Guru Pema Sambhava gave many Thundering teachings to the king and his subjects. During that time, Guru Pema Sambhava was residing in Khenpo cave in the western net of Samye. So that is in someone went to Samye monastery, there all the way will go up to the mountain. So Pema Sambhava, most of the time he spent time at that place when he was in Tibet. Of Samye, when in importing minister of the king, Nima had a tragedy. So, Truzong Debzin, he has a minister. The minister name is Nima. So Nima had a tragedy. Nima, who had 2 palaces and was in the process of moving from one to another. So was packing some, things from his belonging by the light of a light train. When a small spark caused a fire which instantly burned down to the whole palace. So that's a long time ago. We don't have electricity. We don't have a light, torch. So people use this light, or is called what is it called? Packing. Was in process of moving from to another, picking some belong by light or lighting. So that then go to fire to other things. So in Tibet, very easy to burn the fire houses, because if you go down there, is so many butter easily get fire, oil, right? And then usually these people kept all this food house, or what to say, like food store is in the first dome, like basement. So he went to the basement and get things. I think that's why he burned the whole house. caused a fire which instantly burned down the whole palace because people live at the second floor, third floor, fourth floors. The first floor is usually the horse, animals, and then some areas for house for the food, food like storages. So that's why burn whole house. Tragically killing 13 people, including his parents. So he killed 13 people, including his parents, father and mother. All his horse, mules, cattle, and other animals also perished in the fire. So he killed so many different animals because these animals put in also the house and the first floor usually. Minister Nima thinking the love and respect that others show their parents. So he extremely suffering because other people respect to parents, take care, but he cared them. Felt that he had committed the heaviest of sins by causing the death of his parents and others. So then he extremely suffering. He stayed under the desk. Usually here is less information, some more teaching information told about he stay in the darkest room somewhere, and he don't want to eat, he don't want to talk, and so much suffering. So then the king desiring means like King Chusongdebjing to end the suffering of his minister. So he wanted to help, Minister Nima, but king he cannot really help to Minister Nima. So that's why King Chusongdebjing went to Chimpu to restore the help of Pema Sambhava. So he asked help Pema Sambhava. Pema Sambhava by miraculous power went to the Pure Land to see Amitabha Buddha. So Pema Sambhava then directly went to the Buddha Amitabha Pure Land. So just his own perception, samadhi, meditate. Miraculously, you can reach to the Buddha Amitabha Pure Land. So this high realizers their own virtual reality. They can go directly to the Buddha Amitabha Pure Land. The different perceptions, and could be the King Chusongdebjing, others their think Pema Sambhava stay in the cave with them, but Pema Sambhava is not with them. That moment he went to the Buddha Amitabha Pure Land. Then Pema Sambhava by miraculously power went to Buddha Pure Land to see Amitabha Buddha. He talked to Buddha Amitabha about the suffering of Minister Nima and all sentient beings and asked Amitabha to give a special teaching to free them all from suffering. So Pema Sambhava shared all the information to Buddha Amitabha and asked him to help. And so not only Minister Nima, many other beings, same as Minister Nima, so much suffering. So Pema Sambhava said he needed special instruction to benefit others. Then Buddha Amitabha gave this Phowa teaching to Pema Sambhava and instructed that it should only be given to Minister Nima. So Pema Sambhava received this teaching from Buddha Amitabha. Buddha Amitabha giving these instructions to Pema Sambhava, and instructing means like Buddha Amitabha told Pema Sambhava, only you can give it to Minister Nima. Pema Sambhava instructed that it should be only given to Minister Nima. For the time being means like time is not ready to benefit other beings. So have come causes contradictions together, The teaching sometimes not ready to time to benefit. They're sometimes not practitioners there, then no sangha something. Even Dharma is there, no Sangha, then that's why the teachers recognize, have to heed in, and not ready to give in for others. Sometimes people don't care about that teaching. So that's the kind of, reasons due to the time not ready to sharing. So then, Pema Sambhava instructed that it should be given to Minister Nima for the time being. Pema Sambhava, through miraculous power, then come back into Khenpo cave, the Samye, and give this teaching to Minister Nima. So Pema Sambhava then come back to in the Samye, giving this teaching to Minister Nima. So this kind, usually people think Pema Sambhava flew to Buddha Amitabha purely, somewhere miraculous means. So he used something, right horse or jet or something going to the Buddha Amitabha purely. So that's a misunderstanding. This all is like connections. You're transforming, change directly to, you can change perceptions. Like same, we use virtual reality, you change everything, perceptions. You can use your own spiritual journey. You don't, other people no one recognize. So that's the Pema Sambhava then use this his samadhi meditation, connect with Buddha Amitabha received this teaching. Then come back to Khenpo Samye and give this teaching to Minister Nima, who then give up all worldly activities to practice the Phowa. So Pema Sambhava gave this only teaching to Minister Nima. That time he didn't give it to anyone. Even King Tuzong Depsen, he didn't receive this Phowa. So then Minister Nima, he gave up everything, see, worldly activity. So Minister Nima has good convictions because he has a very strong renunciation to samsara. So no, he doesn't have any attached to anything. He wanted to only have his parents liberating himself. So that's why he can receive this teaching. King Tuzong Depsen has also attachment obstacles, many things. That's the reason he don't get. So give up all worldly activity to practice the Phowa, which he eventually actualized, means he realized practice Phowa through the path of Phowa. Minister Nima's consciousness attained the pure life, and when death comes, many different suns appear like rainbow in the sky and relax from his body. So that means he achieved the, completely practice Phowa, and he is free from samsara. The next was hidden in the black mandala lake, which is at the backside of Tala Gampo here. So then this text is hidden. Pema Sambhava didn't give it to any other people. So the instruction is like Pema Sambhava, he get ring through the ring finger and blood, and then palm trees leaf, use the pepper, and the Dakini Yishichoja here, he used the pink, and then he used, ring finger, the blood is used the ink, and he write down all this teaching in the palm trees leaf. Then he used many protections, so he put in the backside of the Tala Gampo here. Tala Gampo here is the Gampopa's monastery. So that time Gampopa monasteries no exist. So he lived these teachings. Then here the Naga king Tsunarina, so asked to be guardian of this text, and was ordered by Pema Sambhava that the future in the generation of Minister Nima would be Nyata Sanje, and that he must give the text to him. So Pema Sambhava has the power, he can connect with all these spirits and the Nagas, anyone. And he calling the in the black lake, this lake is home of the Nagas. So the king of Naga, he called and he asked, protect this teaching. So that's why here, Naga king Tsunarina asked to be guardian of this text, and it was told by Pema Sambhava that the future in connect of Minister Nima would be Nyata Sanje, and that the master give to the text to him. So he asked, give to this text to this Nyata Sanje. Then Pema Sambhava Pema Sambhava, they left to go to the land of the Rakshas. So Pema Sambhava left Tibet. Is the no body, left there. He said he not like death. He left. He said, I have to go to Rakshas land. So when you have he has many practice. When you call him, I come be with you. I have to stay in the Rakshasa land and I have to subdue these beings. So that's his message. He left from Tibet. After more than 350 years, so 8th century to 9, 10, 11, almost 12th century. So kind of during the Marpa Losa's time, So then 350 years, the incarnation of Minister Nima was born as the son of Shifer. So he was born son of Shifer. Son of Shifer, then Nida Sanje was grow up. He felt great compassion and what tears of sorrow when the animal world died. So he has very strong, compassion for animals. So when animal dies, he has this kind of, like strong compassion, wanting to free from their suffering, wanted to liberate them. In order to alleviate his great suffering, so Buddha Amitabha appeared to him and gave him this Phowa teaching for the benefit of all sentient beings. Buddha Amitabha gave blessing to him to, he can use the Phowa for other beings. Nyada Sanje then give Phowa to all the dying animal and offering many different sons appeared. So many different, sign and Phowa recognize he can liberate and benefit into these animal realms. The Naga king then come to Nyada Sanje and told him of the healing text, Dharma. And Nyada Sanje took the tail from the Black Mountain Lake and gave the teaching to the Nagas. So then Naga king also asked the talk about this story to Nyada Sanje, like you have to, take the hidden Dharma. So Nyada Sanje get the hidden Dharma, Phowa, Jasoma, and he gave to the Nagas. Nyada Sanje took the tale from the Black Mountain Lake and gave the teaching to Nagas. Through his teaching, the Naga were reborn into higher life. So there become many Naga beings also take rebirth higher realms. They can take birth to human beings. Then the future, their life has connect with the spiritual, get precious human body. So that's he giving this teaching to the animals. So giving Phowa, liberating them, and he liberating Nagas. So liberation has different levels. The lower realms beings you can liberate to higher realms. Animal realms, Naga means many different kind of beings, not only one. So many diversity. So same is like, in the ocean has many diversity animals, right? So there kind of different diversity Nagas, beings. And some is a part of God realm, some is a part of human beings realm, some is a part of, animal realms, some is a part of the hungry ghost realms, all different kind of beings, Naga means. So you give Phowa them is they can become future life birth to the human being who has precious human body, not just only, someone who don't have a connect with the Dharma. So liberating means you lower realms, you can liberate to higher realms, that person has connect with the spiritual. So otherwise no benefit, you can go down again, then you create a negative karma again in this human beings around. So who has a connect with the spiritual, that beings like also previous life, some spiritual beings have us maybe take birth higher realms, or we have good karma connections, take birth to spiritual connections. After this, Nyada Sanje give many teachings to human beings through which many reach liberation. So then he give this teaching to human beings. There are many beings liberated, free from samsara. This transmission of teaching is held by the Digong Chopa, Digong Kajupa. So now we go to the page. So page 53. Then go to page 53. This one you can see each page has 3 pages. One page has 3 pages, different sections. The point is there's verses like sections, and the famous Buddha Amitabha from receive this teaching famous Sambhava. Then they become hidden text. Page go to 54 is Tertu Nyada Sanje. It's called you cannot have here because they're just very temporary. We cannot give to Phowa to them, so they have to leave. Yeah, it's not there in the beginning. So yeah, come to hold there, right? Okay, so then you cannot have, please. So next time come back. Yeah, this teaching is we have to give it to only beginning to end who participate. Okay. Thanks. Yes. So then page 54, see Pema Sambhava, this teaching lineage order is Tertu Nyada Sanje. Then second, the page 54, the middle line, and his disciple is called Tsumi Namkha Jamsin. So Tsumi Namkha Jamsin is the order of lineage, and then after Tsumi Namkha Jamsin's disciple is page 54. And the last part is for Todin Sanghapana. Todin Sanghapana's disciple, page 55, is Phagu Trimi Lodi. So Phagu Trimi Lodi's disciple is Chiji Sanjay Jamsin. And then Chiji Sanjay Jamsin disciple is Tsumi Matan Senjin. And Tsumi Matan Senjin's disciple, page 56, is Yonzeng Pinso Namgyar. So then, say, Tsumi Matan Senchin's disciples called Yonzeng Pinso Namgyar is called prayer to the Trutru Pinso Namgyar. Trutru means teacher, right? And he is the one of the teacher, and he is the Digong Khajo lineage, this one. So then he received these teachings from the lineage. And this Phowa lineage, other lineage also has, but this has become more. This Phowa has come to the Digong Khajo lineage due to this, Yonzeng Pinso Namgyar, and then he's giving these teachings. Khenchen Namjong Pinso. The Khenchen Namjong Pinso's disciples, page 56, is called Pray to Holy Concho Rena. So Gypsy Concho Rena, so one there is Concho Rena. So this is the Concho Rena is 20. I think Digong Khajo lineage order 23rd or 24th something. I don't remember exactly. He's the lineage order, so he received this teaching from Khenchen Namjong Pinso. And then starting that, it's become this Digong Phowa lineage is the Phowa teachings, treasure for Digong Khajo lineage. And they have a special collection teachings and the part of that teaching. So come to the Digong Khajo lineage. The Concho Rena is low to next one. I see Concho Rena is I think 22nd lineage holder, and then go to the page 57 is called I pray to Vijayadhara Dharmakirta is 23rd. So now the Drigong Kaju lineage has two holinesses. The reason is this Concho Rena and the reincarnation is His Holiness Chesan, and Vijayadhara Dharmakirta, you know, his reincarnation is called Drigong Jambu Chungsam. So the two become lineage holder teachers come from. Before that is always followed by Chura lineage means you know, family lineage. So the family lineage is come from Achi Chichidroma. So and her husband all the way this family lineage Jiking Songbo. There was born always the family lineage, but the who's the lineage holder is always a monk, not the lay practitioner. He's always a monk, but then he has always a brother, so the family, and then older son is always must be monk. So the training that person is become next lineage holders. Is then when up to here is Dharma Kirti, and his brother didn't have a son. So then Dharmakirti, he changed the system. So he went back to reincarnation tradition. He chose his teacher's reincarnation. His teacher is Ponchorina. So these two terms, then this Phowa is come to the Digong Kaju lineage very strong. And then starting is this called Digong Phowa channel. So that's the other all the lineage is followed by just generally and no specific Tigong Kaju, but you see the lineage. So we go back to 21 again. This transmission of teaching is held by Tigong Kajupa, so that's the lineage. The devoted practitioner who has not dropped in the qualified Lama and the teachings can experience the sound of Phowa merely through receiving the long blessing transmission. This has been experienced by many practitioners around the world. So then, Phowa, when you receive, so this one have lots of information. So qualified Lama and the teaching, qualified student who receiving. So many congregations have to come together. So qualified teacher means like must have to have a lineage, Phowa lineage transmissions. And then of course have to know how to share the Phowa and the practice. And then also who receive the Phowa, we all practitioner, Phowa practitioner has some levels of renunciation. Liberation is very important. That mentality or we one thing or something, our goal is liberation. That's what we need. Then you receive Phowa, the sound of Phowa merely through receiving the long blessing transmission. So then sometimes you receive the long transmission, you get special like kind of sounds and the fears, feelings, everything coming, many things happen. But sometimes you have to practice Phowa. So practice 7 days. So then special sounds generally comes. So this has been experienced by many practitioners around the world. Then when we practice Phowa, visualize in the sky in front of one, appear the precious throne of 8 peacock. So we have to visualize the 8 peacock on which sits my gracious Lord Lama in form of Buddha Amitabha. So Buddha Amitabha's form is inseparable with our root gurus. The visualize. Who is the essence of all Buddhas in the 3 terms? So Buddha Amitabha is essence of all 3 terms Buddha. He wearing the 3 Dharma robes and possess all the major and minor marks of Buddha. His 2 hands are the Samadhi mudra, and he's holding the bigger bowl which is filled with the blessed nectars. Sitting in the Vajra position with the light radiating out from his body, he is surrounded by all the lineage lamas. So he has all the lineage lamas surrounding, 4 lineage lamas. So this is our refuge Guru or Buddha, we have to take refuge to Buddha Amitabha. We wanted to reborn to Buddha Amitabha purely, so that's why we take refuge to Buddha Amitabha. With one-pointed mind, take refuge. I and all sentient beings take refuge in Ot Ru Lama in the form Amitabha as teacher and guardian. So Buddha Amitabha is a refuge object, and our guardian take refuge in the Phowa as our rare path to enlightenment. So Phowa teaching is Dharma. Taking refuge in Dharma is a Phowa practice. Take refuge in the lineage lamas, our companion on the path. Please bestow upon us your great compassion. So all the lineage gurus, these Phowa lineage gurus are Sangha. Taking refuge is Sangha. So this Sangha is not ordinary Sangha. When you take refuge means we're not talking about ordinary Sangha. Our ordinary Sangha has afflictive emotions. And this refuge Sangha is very high level, realize absolute truth, and have compassion, have more strong compassion. So it's quality, it's spiritual quality. More quality is like permanent quality. We have like temporary qualities, easily can be lost. Even we are Sangha, but our Dharma practice quality can be lost because not stable. And this Sangha is a very stable, the quality, even they are not enlightened beings, but this being Sangha is means we're taking refuge, Sangha object is the many different levels can be, all the way up to enlightened beings to realize kind of some very strong high level practice. They are free from, they're not doctor about, they're not fears for samsara. They don't have a kind of more expectation to reach to Buddha Amitabha purely or Nirvana. So that kind of who has, practice, they don't fear for samsara, realization, through the realization. Then that is called Sangha. So we taking refuge in Sangha as the realizers. Please bestow upon your great compassion. And the Bodhicitta prayer. So then we take refuge to Buddha, Amitabha, and Dharma is Phowa teaching, Sangha is lineage teachers. Then we have to create the Bodhicitta and the Bodhicitta prayer. Our practice is the precious Phowa teaching in order to enable all sentient beings who have been my mother and numberless lifetime to attain Buddhahood quickly. With the motivation of aspiration bodhicitta and engaging bodhicitta, one should practice the Phowa, Digong Phowa Chemo. So then we need intention, motivation. Is two motivations. It's aspiring bodhicitta and engaging bodhicitta. Aspiring means I really wanted to help others, wanted to liberate myself. I wanted to help liberating others, kind of aspiring. The engaging means we practice, you listening, teaching, cultivating, you put effort, engaging bodhicitta. So we need these two, have to apply ourselves, bodhicitta, we have to apply. And the bodhicitta prayer, our practice is the precious Phowa teaching in order to enable all sentient beings who have been my mother and numberless times to attain Buddhahood quickly with the motivation of, bodhicitta and bodhicitta, one should practice Phowa, Digong Phowa Chemo. Then visualize one should sit in proper lotus position and think that one body is emptiness. So no transmission, the important is that part is all is preparation or first section we talk about preliminary practice. No is mean teaching. So one should sit in proper lotus position. When you practice Phowa, you have to sit correctly because you have to align your spine and the channel. We have to visualize the central channel. Central channel, you cannot be this way, yeah? Otherwise, you cannot transform. Okay, you cannot be this, and cannot be that, cannot be this, okay? You have to sit straight. Then saying one should be in lotus position. So if you can sit, lotus position is good, but some people cannot do that because due to body physically. So you sit in the chair, but not lay into the chair. You have to just straighten up your, elan. And think that one body is emptiness. So then we have to visualize our body's emptiness. Physically, solid form body cannot do the Phowa. So that's why we, visualize our body's emptiness. In this emptiness, one arises Vajja Yogini. So then we visualize Vajja Yogini, our form bodies. Okay? So very important. You wanted to look to Vajja Yogini form body, and then you can go to image is page 42. There is Vajja Yogini image, page 42. And 43 is Buddha Amitabha and the central channel. So when we do this practice Phowa, we need two Buddha Amitabhas, okay? One Buddha Amitabha, what we already taught, lineage gurus. And the essence of the guru form is Buddha Amitabha. We have to visualize front, in the sky. Yeah. And another Buddha Amitabha, we have to visualize top of your crown. And so you cannot bring everything in your mind. You just, when you first visualize Buddha Amitabha in the front, sky, and our mind don't have a capacity, or is bring together one. So you can move your mind, visualizing. So the noise, here is the Phowa. In emptiness, one arises Vajja Yogini, means we visualize ourselves as Vajja Yogini, form body. The reason is this ordinary form is transforming. Okay, ordinary form body is transformed to the enlightened being's form body. Who is red in color? So Vajja Yogini is red in color with two faces. Why is two faces? One is the mean one, and another the peg head. I think that's why two faces. Two faces means. So you look to the Vajja Yogini's image, then you see they have two faces. Okay, so this right here showing the peg heads. So two faces. Okay, here mean face is graceful looking with three eyes. Graceful looking three eyes. Is this face is graceful looking with three eyes is representative compassion, is more passionate compassion, more wrathful compassion. Action compassion, not relaxing compassion, more action compassion. And loosely noted on top and down by crown of 5 rascals. Her second face, black in color, in the face of a granting soul. I say this is the granting soul. So it's peg head. Representative actually is no door. Peg don't recognize clean and dirty. So it's generally, our perception is negative. But one day you realize true nature, absolute truth, the free from dualistic conceptual. So that's symbolized. She has two hands. The right hand is holding a hook knife up to the sky, and the left is holding a skull cup filled with blood at her heart. So this Vajja Yogini form body, symbolize the essence is showing absolute truth and enlightening quality. When you are enlightened, you are free from dualistic conceptual. It's no draw. So that's why, skull cup and the knife that is free from conceptual, free from dualistic, and free from emotion, free from thoughts. So that kind of symbolizing meaning is Vajja Yogini form body showing. One her left shoulder she carry a Katavanga staff, so that is a method. Vajra Yogini her form body herself forms shows like wisdom. The Katavanga is a representative method. So in the dancing position with her left leg bent and her right leg stretched out and standing on a yellow cord, wearing a necklace of 50 fresh heads. So we have many different mental formations. Our mental formations, everything is impure. So stuck with the dualistic conceptual, and all these mental, formations transform to the pure. So that's why 50 fresh heads are representative. Many bone elements and a garment of red silk. She is visible but without substance. It's empty but seeing clearly, and not substantial form, solid form body. Kind of red, glass, transparency. Then inside her body is the center channel, so we have to visualize the center channel. Hollow and straight as a water tree, so it's water tree, inside is empty. Blue on the outside and red inside, and transparent like colored glass. The upper opening is at the crown of the head, and the lower palm ends at the sacred place. So lower part is closed, up is here, and the crown is open, and the lower sacred level is closed. So when we practice Phowa, on the practice Phowa is open the crown, other all doors have to close. That's the reason is when we die, so our consciousness have to leave the crown. The crown door is liberation door, and other door is samsara door. So that's why we close other doors, opening up the liberation door. Is Phowa practice means. Some, the tradition of Marpa Lotsa's Phowa is part of the 6 Yoga Naropa. When practice Phowa, they have different syllables to put in the eyes, nose, mouth, and other doors, block the doors. And then open the center channel doors, open the crown. So we don't put any, syllables in our doors. That practice is more, I think, secret, where like only yourself. Sometimes practitioners they're drawing, but no, this Phowa we don't require that way. So just through the visualization, like our 3 lower doors, like where you pee and the pop goes and everything's closed. And then this mouth, nose, eyes, ear, the doors closing. Open only door from the crown. So that's why the upper opening is at the crown of the head, and the lower palm ends at the sacred place. And the heart palm is a red 4-petal lotus, in the center of which sits the essence of one's consciousness in the form of a red ball the size of a pea. So inside the center channel and the heart center level have a lotus petal inside the center channel. And the top there we visualize, is a red ball, is the size of pea, very small, tiny. So that's a representative consciousness. Visualize consciousness in the heart center level inside your center channel. It is lotus center as the size of a pea. It is light and reverberating. Visualize all this clearly. So we can use this visualize very clearly. If we can use this create technology very easily visualize this Phowa practice. Actually, it's all these practices, technology, all these conditions make very clearly known. used to very hard to visualize. People think about these things. No, it's due to technology. Everything is very clearly using. We have many use technologies. It's like transparency, even like forms there, but no physical. And then also transparency. And then something using like easily like up and down, like consciousness transforming. So all this is very clearly we can create something, I think, for practice Phowa. Visualize all this clearly, but the created things doesn't support only. The point is we have to practice. If we don't practice, then using this also, some object created many things right now used due to technology create. But then if you don't have the point is like renunciation and transmission, and you're really wanting to do liberating, free from samsara, this kind of, without that, then other everything has become same as cartoon or something, kids playing, Kids always stuck with the computer doing something games, right? So that kind of then nothing benefit. So the long as we can have that technology create something, really need the point is come from, renunciation and come from ourselves. Visualize all this clearly. Above opening in the crown of one's head is Buddha Amitabha. So then we have another Buddha Amitabha, visualize our crown, who is the essence of one's own root Lama in Nirmanakaya form. Wearing the three Dharma robes and possessing all the major and the minor marks of Buddha, he is sitting in Buddha Maitreya position, means like sitting the chair posture with his two big toe placed on the opening at the crown of one's head. So there's a touch to your crown, but it's dependent, how you visualize. Sometimes Buddha Amitabha toe is touched to your crown, not easy to visualize. You can make very small space between, and when our red beam will go up to your crown, it's like arrive, like a touch to Buddha Amitabha toe. And the toe helps, your consciousness not going to somewhere else. So your consciousness there, but then you can descend back again. So this is for the living ourselves for practice, not for the use for the disease. So if we're using for the disease, then it's a different visualization. So now all this visualization is using for our own practice during our lifetime, okay? So that's why we have to visualize Buddha Amitabha on crown. That's more also safety. I don't think so we have a problem with, no safety, because some very high level, someone have very strong visualization practice Phowa, then they can be die themselves, use Phowa practice. So that's why, we have to visualize Buddha Amitabha crown and block the consciousness live from the body, bring back again. That's the reason we have the Buddha Amitabha, visualize the crown. He is sitting Buddha Amitabha, so he is two leg topless on the opening at the crown of one's head. So when we go to the river and the lakes, beach, swimming, they have a like guide, always sitting there, right, watching. So same, Buddha Amitabha is like, helping us not lose consciousness. You in the form of Vajra Yogini, so our service Vajra Yogini, surrounding Buddha Amitabha are all the lineage lamas of the Phowa. They say the name of each lama thing, please bless my mind, continue and bless me to practice the Phowa successfully. Up in death, may I attain Devachi, blessed for pure life. So that's the important. Now you have to log to page 42 and 43. Visualize Vajra Yogini, visualize the central channel, visualize Bindu, visualize Buddha Amitabha. So I'm going to do the transmission. This is called the golden lineage. Transmission package and the Samarabada and the Bangages in Malaysia, Gaji, the Vessel Yangamo, so on the Dodges in Yellow, and the Voyages on the Jeja, the Ranimanism. The Vessels in the laws on the Dodges in Yellow, and you made the Bangajas and the Voyages and the Voyages in Malaysia, the Land of the Dodgers, so on the Dodges in Yellow. Chimena Protogava, and the Javasana, Sarah, Jizan, the Laws on the Dodges in Yellow, and the Dodgers, the Dodgers. So Jin Dorojabola, so on the Soto in Yellow, so on the Wangasi, my Mamoji Jaranaja, Saduru Jamadala, so on the Soto in Yellow, and the Rigi Johnson, Jerome, Nibasu, 10 years on the Jizera, so on the Soto in Yellow, and the Separation. But in the Mother, the Judge, the Robinson, so on the Soto in Yellow, and the Mataboga, the Manimoto, the Jedon, Morasan, Jordan, so on the Soto in Yellow, and Laura, Nelora, Jimmy Chigale, my in the Lomuto, Gandera, the Jijabaya, so on the Soto in Yellow, and the Motor, and the Southern Virgin, and yes, on Jordan, and the Laws on the Soto in Yellow, Joson, and the Mamma Levatar, Mandro, Jojima, the ones and the Venezuela, on the Soto in Yellow, and some Energy. Lamis and Mozaba, and the Rojabolas on the Soto in Yellow, and also the Generation, and the Long, and Jordan, and the Jazz on the Soto. Samsung Saja Jimbo Nello to Juzan, made up of the Vara, Raymond, so on the Soto in Yellow, and on some more Jim by the Tower, Jarjay, Jimmy Barham, the Engineer, Yas on the Soto in the Jimmy Chicken. Miran Zaralunga, Yergani, me was a two women say so on the Soto in the Lord, the Jasa, don't stop on the road. Dogas of the Damadas, Jasa on the Soto in the Lord, Jimmy was on the Lemanga, Dorjins, and one year, and Joe, the last one, the Soto. Jangos of Bema, Gender, Rang, no, don't say about the Minimum, the last one, the Soto in the Lord, Jinja, Light, Dona San Jola, Gonzeba, Gonjo, and the Gonjo, and the Himalas on the Soto in the Lord, Tender Barda is on Bar the one to Jilas on the Sotos in Lavan, doing this again, higher meaning, young and answer, and Ronda Power, Jazzy, so on the Sota, using Jella, Jetta, Jin, Beijing, Regisa, Kinse, Don't Jet or Jin, Jetta, Jin, so on the Sota, using Logic, but Prince and Bajas and Jim, on the Bojan, on the Prince, on the Sota, using on Jambo to Jit, Yangula, to Jim, Ronda, and Money, Masan, and some minutes, and the last one, the Sota, using Laura, and the Sota, so on the Soto using your other Katuji, no like a best of the Gavan, this one, the Dasso, the Chino, Malay, and then they were sent the top George. Lama to Jimona Lama Jano, and the Bardi, Lama, you also the Boga, you just to get over the Bonapana to Yamata. Caridana to Madame Dorjan, Motomba, Jimbo, also on the Soto, yes, and yellow Jimona, the Dasso, and the Rivers of Jam, or Jimmy Monjonelas on the Salomon, you were saying, you don't have a cut to Barcelona, and send page of the Vagina, you were saying, the one you does on the last on the Salomon, you were saying, you don't have a cut to Barcelona, on the same page of the Vagina, you were saying, you don't have one, and the Minampa, Salomon, you were saying, you don't have a cut to Barcelona, on the same page of Mother. The main language is on the Salomon, you were saying, you don't have a cut to Barcelona, on the same page of Mother, you were saying, Sanjo, one minute on the target. To this song of Bandana, so on the Salomon, you were saying, you don't have a cut to Barcelona, on the same page of Mother, you were saying. Sanjay Obamila Sanzalo Bago to Milo de la Sova, the Salomon, you were saying, you don't have a cut to Barcelona, on the same page of Mother, you were saying. Sanjay Obamila Sanzalo, Sanjay Jimzela, so on the Salomon, you were saying, you don't have a cut to Barcelona, on the same page of Mother, you were saying. Sanjay Obamila Sanzalo, so Mima and Sanjela, so on the Salomon, you were saying, you don't have a cut to Barcelona, on the same page of Mother, you were saying. Sanjay Obamila Sanzalo, you were saying, so on the Salomon, you were saying, you don't have a cut to Barcelona, on the same page. They were saying that you were saying, you Obamila Sanzalo, and you were so on the Salomon, you were saying, you don't have a cut to Barcelona, on the same page of Mother, they were saying that you were Sanjay Obamila Sanzalo, you were so on the Salomon, you were saying, you don't have a cut to Barcelona, on the same page of Mother, they were saying that you were saying, Sanjay Obamila. Sons of Lord, and the Jirabolas on the Salomon, you were saying, you don't have a cut to Barcelona, on the same page of Mother, they were saying that you were saying, Sanjay Obamila. Conjunto and Jealous on the Salomon, you were saying, you don't have a cut to Barcelona, on the same page of Mother, they were saying that you were saying, Sanjay Obamila. Conjunto and Samola on the Salomon, you were saying, you don't have a cut to Barcelona, on the same page of Mother, they were saying that you were saying, Sanjay Obamila. Delle Roger Jala on the Salomon, you were saying, you don't have a cut to Barcelona, on the same page of Mother, they were saying that you were saying, Sanjay Obamila. Nondala Sonda Salamponi was in the Gaji was in Lotas on the Nizabijuma, the Wajin, the George, and Obama, so on the Salamponi was in the Gaji was in Lotas on the Nizabijuma, the Wajin, the George, and Obama, the Gigi Marathon. Salamponi was in the Gaji was in Lotas on the Nizabijuma, the Wajin, the George, and Obama, the Salamponi was Yelam, Gaji was in Lotas on the Nizabijuma, the Wajin, the George, and Obama, the Mandala, the Salamponi was Yelam, Gaji. Yellow the Sunday is a bit more than the Jivas and Yellow Sounds long as and Jomolas on the Son of one. Yellow was Yellow the Sunday is a bit more than the Jivas and Yellow San one and the original regions in the Son of the Son of one. You was in the That's all the Sunday Jimada the Jivas and Yellow San one and the origin, but the Yellow Son of the Son of one. You was in the was in Yellow the Sunday. They were in the Jivas and Yellow San one and the Son of Jinimalas on the Son of one. You was in the Sunday is a bit more. They were in the Jivas and Yellow San one and the Lord Lord on the Salon, you was in the was in the they were in the Jivas and Yellow San Giovanni, the Lord in the Jealous on the Salon, you was in the was in the they were in the Jivas and Yellow San Giovanni, the Lord Zim on George Jealous on the Salon, you was in the Nazo the Nesabijama, they were in the Jivas and Yellow San Giovanni, the Lord on the Salon, you was in the Nesabijama. They were in the Jivas and Yellow San Giovanni, the Salon, the Jivas on the Salon, you was in the Jimana, they were in the Jivas. Sanjay Obama, the Jijin, and also on the Salon, you was in the Gaji, was in the Jimana, they were in the Jivas. Sanjay Obama, the Sons of Lord, and Jits of Mala, so on the Salon, you was in the Gaji, was in the Jimana, they were in the Jivas. Sanjay Obama, the Sons of Lord, and Jits of Mala, so on the Salambo, and you was in the Gaji, was in the Son of the Jimana, they were in the Jivas, and you was in the Sons of Lord. So now visualize very clearly. First, take refuge under become enlightened. Take refuge, Guru, who's the three jewels, through the mind that is seek benefit of all mother beings. I meditate on the essence of the profound path. So you visualize, meditating. Under become enlightened. Take refuge, the Guru, who's the three jewels, through mind that is seek to benefit all mother beings. I meditate on the essence of a profound path. From the sphere of emptiness, I arise as Red Varja Varahi, Varja Yogini. She holds a cup knife and a skull cup. Her face is that of a grunting soul with an upturned nose. She is naked, adorned by bone ornament and dancing. The inside and outside of her body is transparent, and the center of her body is central channel. Is blue on the outside, red on the inside, and it possesses the four characteristics. There is a hole in the upper end of the channel, and it is close below the sacred place at the bottom. And the heart center is a red lotus. On its polling bead is red bingu, that is only the size of a pea. Its nature of consciousness, it is shiny, round, bouncing, vibrating, and is transparently glimmering. Your Guru Amitabha is sitting with the soles of his feet on the Burma aperture, the hole at the upper end of the center channel, at the crown of your head. Visualizing this strongly humiliating of affection. Singilo, Nyalam Poven Karju Dubar Singilo, Nazon Dene Sempu Jurmata, Dewa Jenda Jewar Singilo, Sanje Oba Nilai Sanzelo. I pray to gracious Rulama, bestow your blessing, realization, profound path of Phowa. Bestow blessing to the rich purely by path of Phowa. The moment we die, may we be born in the blissful purely of Devachi, apostate to Buddha Amitabha. Tenjin Zave Lama Lai Sorvande 萨兰婆安永尔心吉罗，尼兰波恩卡尔觉知巴尔心吉罗，达索德内森贝吉尔玛。để voi trên đời chế vô sinh chế lo sa chế ô ba mê la sang sa lo. Visualize and your forms of Vajra Yogini and visualize the central channel. Visualize the Bendu in heart center. Visualize Buddha Amitabha Trobong Yokoron. So I'm going to do the hey, hey, hey 3 times. And first, your Bindu, the consciousness up to throat, and then up to forehead, up to above the crown, touch to Buddha Amitabha Trobong. And then when I say ka, it's descending back to in your heart center again. So that's just, guide, like you have to focus it. Usually there's, just hey means like transforming consciousness, no specific focus, but it's, we focus specific, it's better, you can bring your mind, connect with your focus and visualization. So that's what I'm going to do 3 times each time. And then start to descend back again. Visualize clearly, still aligned. That's the first one. We're going to do another 2. Visualize your body, Vajra Yogini, central channel, Bindu in heart center. Buddha Amitabha on your crown. This is a transmission you don't have to do yourself, only visualize. Then when we practice together, so we have to do together. Third one, visualize yourself as Vajra Yogini. Central channel, Bindu, Buddha Amitabha on your crown. Guru, Tathagata, Amitabha, ask you to develop in perform part of Phowa. By your blessing, as soon as I live this life, may I become inseparable from mind or protection Sukhavate. Guru, just sit and no need to do anything. Don't turn the pages. Meditate. Guru, Tathagata, Amitabha, I supplicate you to develop in me the profound part of Phowa. By your blessing, as soon as I live this life, may I become inseparable from the mind of protection Sukhavate. Save Lama Deje Oba Mezorwan Dezo Salan Boai Jong Sinji Loje Zenden Duma Dai De Jin Yen Gong 도단 열매요 자외라마 대제오바 메소론데소 살라임보와이종 신지로제스는부마 도단 열매요. Meditate. Marja Yoga in the form body. Center channel. Guru, Tathagata Amitabha, I supplicate you to develop in my profound path of Phowa. By your blessing, as soon as I live this life, may I become inseparable from the mind of a protector in Sukhavate. Guru, Tathagata Amitabha, I supplicate you to develop in me the profound path of Phowa. By your blessing, as soon as I live this life, may I become inseparable from mind of protector in Sukhavate. Save Lama Deje Oba Mezorwan Dezo Salam Boai Sinji Loje Zenden 내소로안데소 살라임보와이죠 생제로제zen드부마 너희들진신공 도다열매주 Meditate, visualize yourself as Vajra Yogini. Visualize the center channel. Visualize the heart center, in the heart center Bindu, consciousness. Visualize the Buddha Amitabha on your crown. Now visualize the trouble on your crown Buddha Amitabha descending down through your central channel. The Guru descending down to your heart center is inseparable from your consciousness and abiding Amitabha. So become Buddha Amitabha is descending through your central channel, and your dissolve to your consciousness and abides in the Bindu is transformed to your form body is Buddha Amitabha, long life Buddha, meditate long life Buddha Amitabha. Your form is become Buddha Amitabha's form body. If you don't know the Buddha Amitabha, the Buddha Amitabha, so you can visualize white Tara. They are same family, long life. life emanates and then contract with the concentrate to eternal life, essence of samsara and nirvana. In order to stop the transference of your consciousness, seal your crown, aperture with cross Vartyara. Visualize Vartyara on your crowns. Seal your crown again. Chant mantra together is page 72. Om Amarana Zivindaya Soha, 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 Om Amarana Zivindaya Om Amarana Zivindaya Soha, Om Amarana Zivindaya Soha, Om Amarana Zivindaya Soha, Om Amarana Zivindaya Soha, Om Amarana Zivindaya Om Amarana Zivindaya Soha, Om Amarana Zivindaya Soha, Om Amarana Zivindaya Soha, Om Amarana Zivindaya Soha, Om Amarana Zivindaya Om Amarana Zivindaya Soha, Om Amarana Zivindaya Soha, Om Amarana Zivindaya Soha, Om Amarana Zivindaya Om Amarana Zivindaya Soha, Om Amarana Zivindaya Soha, Om Amarana Zivindaya Soha, Om Amarana Zivindaya Soha, Om Amarana Zivindaya Om Amarana Zivindaya Soha, Om Amarana Zivindaya Soha, Om Amarana Zivindaya Soha, Om Amarana Zivindaya Om Amarana Zivindaya Soha, Om Amarana Zivindaya Soha, Om Amarana Zivindaya Om Amarana Zivindaya Soha. Page 66. Lord Amitayo, who is our guide to enlightenment, who guides us from untimely death, protector of the helps and the suffering, with Amitayo to you are posted. Jeten Rembe Soi Sebai Me, Temen Chewai Malen Jomzebe, Gomi Dongara Jirpa Nam Jeja, Sanje Seva Mila Sanselo, Om Namo Bhagavate Aparamata Ayunjana Sambhane Sada Tenzo Ranzaya Tatangataya Aharde Samya Sambhidaya Tiyada Om Pinye Pinye Maha Pinye Aparamata Pinye Aparamata Pinye Jana Sambharo Pasate Om Sarva Sankara Parashita Dharmate Gangana Samengate Sobhava Vashide Mahaya Parvara Soha Om Amarananda Vente Soha Om Amarananda Vente Soha Om Amarananda Vente Om Amarananda Vente Soha Om Amarananda Vente Soha Om Amarananda Vente Soha Om Amarananda Vente Soha Om Amarananda Vente Om Amarananda Vente Soha. By this virtue of doing this practice, may I quickly attain the realization of Amitayos and all beings without exception. To the same state may I come to live. Gewan de Nyorda Dai Seba Mengo Mason Drupjaran Roa Chijang Male Ba de Salango Parisho. Page 69. In the center is Buddha Amitabha boundless light. To his right is generous the Lord of great compassion. And to his left is the Bodhisattva Japan and the Lord of great power. They are surrounded by inconceivable examples of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Extraordinary limitless peace and happiness is bliss for bliss in dawn. When all beings and are passed from this life, may we be born everything hindering by another samsaric birth. Once born, there may be behold the face of Amitabha boundlessly. By the power of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, bless us that may we attain this aspiration without hindrance. Tiyada Pinzandi, Avam Bodhanaya Soha. Emma Om Zara Sanje Nongwan Daye Daye Sujo Toje Jimbodan Yonde Zimban Tujin Don La Sanje Sanzen Bani Korjigo Deje Mom Zara Bade Nebaye Dewa Jinje Zar Chingander Dayen Dene Zembu Jermada Jewa Jinja Barmai Jubar Terre jene nande jalong yo nege nage molanda bande. Soje sanje sanze namje je kene de barazinje lapeso. Tirada bunzanje ya bozen ayeso. Go to page 75. So this long time we didn't chant. And crown over shakyas, kind and knowing friend to all beings. 70 great painters are Telopa and Naropa, Marpa, Malarepa, Gambopa, Jigdin Sumbo, and their lineage, their blessed bestow good fortune and auspiciousness. Transcending Lord Protector Amitayo, who grants supreme life, every lifetime stable and unchanging, and who delivers from untimely death. Who merely hears your name or think of you, please bestow good fortune and auspiciousness, with discipline living in the high training of morality, with great compassion that appears as the glory of those to be tamed, and without overcutting, devoid of all grasping from Mahamudra nature state. Nidun Temple Nima, some of the teachings, may your life remain firm. Nidun Temple Nima means Gachen of his name. Dorjen Chang, next page. Dorjen Chang, Telopa, Naropa, Marpa, Malarepa, Dharma Lord Gambopa, Pamotropa Lord Gompa. Please be stopping us the most auspicious in the bliss of our Kaju Lamas. By this virtue may achieve nations, by defeating all enemies confusion. May all who travels on the ways of birth, old age, sickness, death, cross the ocean of samsara. Buddhishita, the excellent precious mind, where it is unborn era, where it is unborn is not declining but even increase higher and higher. I pray the Lama may have a good health, I pray the Lama may have a long life. I pray your Dharma activity suffer far and wide. I pray that I may not be separate from you. As Manjushri will realize out of my state, others did Samantha, but I will follow in the path and fully dedicate all the merit for Saint Jimmy. By the blessing of the Buddha who attained the three kayas, by the blessing of the truth of unchanging Dharma aside, by the blessing of the indivisible Sangha order made Mary I shall bear fruit. By this virtue collected 3 times, and by myself always in samsara and nirvana, and by Neru over Chimya and all Saint Jimmy's calculating answer past perfect complete precious enlightenment. May the teaching of Great Gompa Ranashir, who is a nation Lord of Dharma, master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, meditation, and end of the samsara. Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Thank you, everyone. So tomorrow we're going to practice Phowa together. So now you receive completely Phowa translation. And tomorrow join the practice Phowa together. Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you so much, CC Khenpo.
Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.
Masih jelek.